Effective management of your test cases depends a lot on how you control tests in the library and use that library to create tests for execution. This means that the management tool we use needs to support us with 5 core concepts. Firstly, the ability to update instances of the test case in the library without affecting test case instances that have already been run and executed. So in this example, under our test library, if I come in and update the order maintenance printing test case and submit that change should not be reflected in instances of the test case that have already been executed. And this is because the result is recorded against the run instance, and once recorded we don't want changes to be made to the test case as they might invalidate the test result. The second core concept is the ability to update the run instances without affecting the library instance. So again, in this example, if we look at a test set which contains 2 test cases that we'll execute, and when we do execute them, first we pick the release and the configuration we want to run them against. But essentially, when we run these test cases, if we update them, we do not want that update to be reflected back to the library. So here we may change the username, and if we save that change to the test step and to the test case, move on to the next test, then that change should not be reflected in the test library. The third concept is related and covers updating the run instance and automatically propagating that change back to the library so that we can then incorporate that change in future test runs. So in this example, I may update the test at runtime, submit that change, pass the test case, move on to the next one, and I'm prompted with a question about updating the test library with the changes I've just made. And this is useful because typically when we write the test cases we may miss a few points, or we may have written it not quite right and we want to update those changes at runtime back into the library. The fourth and fifth core concepts are variations on some of the examples we've already seen. The fourth one, for example, being the ability to update the library and propagate the change to instances of the test case that have already been run. Now, I've already said that usually that's not something we'd want to do because it would invalidate the test results. But sometimes we may have a minor change like a spelling mistake to correct in the library test case, and if the tool supports propagating that change to run instances, that can be useful. The fifth core concept is replicating changes to a library test case across projects, and this is really an advanced feature in some of the higher end test management tools where we can have a library of test cases that is relevant to multiple projects. So it's this capability to isolate yet link test cases between the library and the run instances that gives the QA team the ability to manage their test cases effectively. And it's important because if your test management tool doesn't support these concepts, then you're in danger of having invalid test results or having the onerous task of managing all these different instances manually. And if you end up doing that, you've lost one of the key reasons for having a test management tool in the first place.